Happy 2 a.m., everyone. My name is Caroline Williams, and this is my third digital storytelling assignment for ISCI 600 at the University of South Carolina. A little context on this story. I was one of those children who was obsessed with Greek mythology growing up, and that's an obsession that has continued into my adulthood. And so I wrote an original story based on Greek mythology. It's not a retelling, it's an original story, but I think it's digestible and readable enough for like a 9 to 12 age group. I think that would be appropriate. I created this story and I'm recording using Canva. Without further ado, I'd like to present to you Sophia and the Golden Laurel. Thousands of years ago, in ancient times, people believed in all-powerful gods and goddesses. These divine beings created and ruled the universe, and humans worshipped them in grand temples. The Olympians, as they were called in Greece, were part of daily life, and humans relied on them for protection. But sometimes, the gods needed heroes too. Sophia was one such human, although she did not look much like a hero. She was small for her age, and the children in her village often teased her for it. But she was very smart and curious. Her father often joked that she had been blessed by Athena, the goddess of wisdom. She loved to explore the forests near her home during the day and listen to her grandmother's stories about the gods and goddesses by the fire at night. One warm summer evening, as Sophia was playing by herself in the grove of olive trees, she noticed something strange. Shadows danced along the ground, even though the sun was close to setting and there wasn't much light out. She raised her arm, and a shadow waved back. Sophia gasped. These shadows moved on their own, and they seemed to be whispering secrets to each other. Curious as ever, Sophia followed the whispering shadows to the mouth of a cave hidden by vines, mushrooms, and other plants. Strangely, she felt no fear as she stepped inside. The cave was cool and dark. As she ventured deeper, she noticed that the stone walls were covered with intricate paintings of the gods and mythical creatures, like the ones from her grandmother's stories. There was a light at the end of the cave. A pool of crystally blue water shimmered like a mirror. Suddenly, the water began to ripple, and a woman rose from the pool. She must have been a goddess, Sophia thought, for no regular human could live like that. This woman was tall, had flowing silver hair, and eyes that matched the pool. "Welcome, Sophia," she said in a soft and graceful voice. "I have been waiting for you." Sophia was quite sure she had never met this woman in her life, and she gulped nervously. "I'm sorry, but who are you?" "I am Cryptea, goddess of secrets and dreams." Sophia curtsied out of respect. "Why were you waiting for me?" "My little shadows guided you to me because I need your help. I am sending you on a quest," Cryptea explained. Sophia gulped. A quest? Only heroes like Hercules went on quests for the gods. She was certainly no Hercules. But Sophia could not say no to a goddess. Her grandmother would never forgive her for it. So Sophia breathed deeply to calm herself. "What can I do to help?" "Hermes stole the golden laurel. No Olympian is allowed to keep it for themselves because it is a symbol of our unity. Without it, the gods will fall into discord. This will cause chaos in the human world. Storms will rage, crops will wither, and mortals will fight one another without reason." Sophia gulped. This was a very big task indeed. "Can a god or goddess not find it?" Cryptea shook her head. "If any other god or goddess tries to find it, they too will be accused of hoarding it for themselves. No, only a mortal may undertake this quest." "I am just a girl," Sophia protested. "How can I fight the gods?" "Here," Cryptea said, handing her a smooth, round stone the color of the full moon. "This is the stone of clarity. It will guide you through any maze or illusion that Hermes has planned. But beware. The tricks may test your heart and mind." Sophia wanted to ask the goddess more questions, but Cryptea sank back into the crystal pool. Armed with nothing but her wits and the Stone of Clarity, Sophia embarked on her quest. The cave began to twist and turn around her, even though she stood on one spot. This must be the magic of the gods. First, she faced a river of fire that seemed impossible to cross. She thought about swinging over it, running really fast through it, or making shoes from rocks so that her feet would not burn. Then she consulted the Stone of Clarity, which revealed a safe path beneath the flames. After the flames, Sophia was faced with a hall of fantastical mirrors. Each reflection showed what might be a possible path, but only one was real. She marked each mirror with a piece of her gown to know she'd passed it. After what seemed like ages, the Stone of Clarity helped her find the right one. After finding the right path, she faced a monster with wings like a hawk and a body like a lion. Sophia was so scared and waved a fiery torch at the beast to scare it away. Thankfully, the stone revealed that the monster was simply a combination of fire and shadow. Finally, Sophia reached the heart of the labyrinth, where she saw the golden laurel perched upon the top of a pedestal. Lightning and thunder surrounded the pedestal, and Hermes, the trickster god, flew above it with his winged sandals. He was grinning like he was playing a fun chess match, rather than putting a mortal in danger. "You've come far, Sophia. Do you think you can outwit me once more?" He summoned a gust of wind to blow Sophia away, and she clung to the marble steps as hard as she could. She had to think fast. She could not fight him. He was too strong. What could she do? She felt her fingers losing their grip on the marble steps. Then she remembered her grandmother's stories of the gods. Hermes was a trickster, but he liked a challenge and a business deal. "Hermes, if you can solve my riddle, you can have the laurels. If you cannot, then I can take it back to Cryptea. Is that a deal?" Hermes grinned like a wolf. "Indeed, child. You shall have the laurels if I cannot solve it. What is your riddle?" Sophia gulped. Suddenly she could not think of any riddles, even though she had read so many books and heard so many riddles from her grandmother. "Do not make me wait, child. I am not a patient god," Hermes said. Sophia cleared her throat. "What has keys but cannot open locks?" she asked. The smug smile faded from Hermes's face. "What?" Sophia nodded. "I'll give you 30 seconds to think it over." The 30 seconds passed, and Hermes was unable to give the correct answer. "A piano!" Sophia shouted. Hermes laughed heartily. "Clever. I've not heard that one before. Very well, the golden laurel is yours. But remember, the real test was not simply finding it, but in using it wisely." With the golden laurel finally in her hands, Sophia returned to Cryptea. The goddess looked at Sophia with pride as she took the laurel and lifted it to the sky, sending it to Olympus in a burst of light. "You have done more than simply recover the golden laurel, Sophia. You have shown that true bravery is not just about facing danger, but also about making wise choices in difficult situations." Sophia shook her head. "No, I was not as brave as you say. Many times I relied on the Stone of Clarity for help. I couldn't have done the quest without it." Cryptea took the stone from Sophia's hands. Instead of placing it in a box or on a pedestal for safekeeping, she tossed it into the pool as if it were a pebble. Sophia cried out in protest, but Cryptea only laughed. "There is no such thing as a Stone of Clarity. I made it up. You completed the quest all on your own. You must believe in your abilities, Sophia." Sophia returned to her village. Apparently the bards and townspeople had already heard of her adventures, and she was welcomed back as a hero. No one teased her for her smallness or her bookishness anymore. Now, thousands of years later, tourists swear they hear whispering voices and see shadows in the olive grove near the ruins of Sophia's village. Some can only make out a few words. Those who listen well are told the story of a brave girl who saved the gods and humanity with her cleverness, and they are taught that bravery comes from deep within ourselves if we just believe. The end. I know that that was a little longer. I apologize, but I think because the reading level is a little bit higher, I could add more words and a better vocabulary. So, again, I apologize for the length. I do think it was necessary. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you.